Welcome, this is LatiNation Football Club and I'm your host Marcelino Ortiz, and I'm so excited because this week we have a banger of a show. That's right, it's Champions Week League. It is Liga MX now on LatiNation. That's right, every week we have some of the top games of one of the fastest growing leagues in the United States, Liga MX. That's right, not only that, we go all the way to Guadalajara with the one and only Chiva Mayor that brings us the breakdown of what's going on this exciting league. Not only that, Nik Z straight from Monaco, giving us the result of match day number 2 for Champions League. And finally, everything that you want to know about women's soccer, we're gonna have it. But let's start with my good friend, Alex Crespo. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I mean, another week of good football. You can't ask for anything more than that, really.
That's right. And we're gonna start with Liga MX on LatiNation. That's right, we have Atlas versus Tigres, we had Juárez contra León. And let's talk about these two teams, Alex, because they are on a banger form right now. Both teams winning their last 2 games. Let's start with Tigres. Tigres, a classic team from Liga MX, one of the big spenders. They have a great roster, and they are winning games one after the other. They beat Atlas 2-0. Now they beat Querétaro 2-0 after tying with Pumas 3 weeks ago. So the form is looking really good for Tigres, Alex.
And this team is absolutely dominating in the league, 5th place. But, you know, this doesn't mean that they can get comfortable. Just because they're up there doesn't mean that it's time to sit back and relax. This is the time where they need to really strive and keep moving forward, especially because in these last 2 games, 2 goals against both teams, 2-0 results. But, I mean, in that first game contra Atlas, a really early on goal just to set up the tone. And then both games had a first half goal and a second half goal. So they're showing that they're keeping that momentum throughout the full 90 minutes. I mean, what do you think about this team?
I love what Tigres is doing. They are obligated to always be protagonists in Liga MX. We saw in the last game, every line of the team is playing at a high level. They're trying to climb places. The competition is tough. America is playing at a very high level. Now, they have Cruz Azul ahead of them this weekend. Cruz Azul, as we know, is one of the fiercest rivals right now in Liga MX until they make it to the playoffs and then they fizzle y la Cruz Azulean. But that's another story. Now, Alex, let's talk about Juárez. Juárez, another team that will be broadcasted here on LatiNation week after week, guys. The best games are going to be here on this channel, so don't miss out. The last 3 games for Juárez, amazing. They went and beat 3-1 on Mis Pumitas, desgraciadamente. Then the last 2 games, again, with 2-0 results. Seem like Tigres and Juárez, they're in competition to see which of the teams make it in a better placement for the playoffs. What are their possibilities, Alex, for Juárez?
I mean, right now, they're in good form. They are showing their dominance in 7th place. But, I mean, I got to ask you, what happened with Pumas? Because right now, Pumas and León in their last 2 games, beating them in these last results. They are both teams that are struggling right now in the playoff rounds. They are in 10th and 11th place. Do you think there's still faith in these last 5 games?
Pumas, it's a team that knows how to play the last 5 games of the tournament. There will be an awakening of Mis Pumitas. They will make a difference. But unfortunately, they were victim to both Tigres and Juárez, and they put them really low. Like you said, these were like we used to call them partidos de 6 puntos, 6 points, because you are fighting against the team that is right ahead of you in the standings. So if you beat them, they drop 6 points, not only the 3 that you were earning. So these were critical games that Pumas lost, but Juárez and Tigres taking advantage of the mathematics and putting themselves in the playoff scene right now. Now, Alex, there's still 5 games. Juárez has a really solid team. No big stars, no big names. People are working hard to make this team go to the playoffs. Tigres, on the other hand, iconic players on top, iconic players on goal, and in between the 2 of them. Do you think that any of these 2 teams might give us a run to the final?
I mean, I don't doubt it. I mean, Tigres for sure, I think that they have a strong base to keep it going and make it to the final even. But Juárez is also in the playoffs. I mean, this team with Estupinian as their goal scorer right now, he has 5 goals in this tournament and he is just keeping that momentum going. I think that they can keep it going till the end and just, you know, show that they have what it takes to be in the final.
I love to see new teams fighting in La Liguilla. I really like what Juárez is doing. I really like what Tigres is doing. And I really hope Mis Pumitas, they get back in the fight and get one spot a la fiesta grande. But in the meantime, let's go with the one and only Chiva Mayor. straight from Guadalajara, one of the most football crazy towns in the world, with a report of all the other games of Liga MX.
That is right, Marcelino. What a weekend in La Liga MX. The latest match was packed with goals, rivalries, and statements from the league's biggest clubs. Let's kick it off with the Clásico Capitalino, America versus Pumas. And whoa, America did not disappoint in front of a sold-out stadium. Las Águilas absolutely flew past their city rivals with a 4-1 victory. The attack was relentless. The fans were electric. And America once again reminded the league why they are the team to beat this season. Meanwhile, over in Puebla, Chivas de Guadalajara showed discipline and quality, securing a clean 2-0 win that pushes them right back into the playoff conversation. Another team making noise, los campeones, los Diablos Rojos del Toluca, defended their home turf with a strong 3-1 victory over Mazatlán, keeping the pressure on the league's leaders. On the flip side, Atlas and Necaxa delivered one of the most entertaining thrillers of the weekend. A 5-goal battle that ended 3-2 in favor of Atlas, showing us once again why Liga MX is never short on drama. Elsewhere, Juárez stunned León with a 2-0 win. Monterrey held it off Santos Laguna in a tight 1-0 battle. And to close the jornada, Tijuana pulled off a statement victory, defeating Cruz Azul 2-0 in front of their home fans. So, what does this all mean? America is flying high, Tigres are keeping the pace, Chivas are climbing, and teams like Toluca and Monterrey are making sure the race to the title stays wide open. One thing is clear, the road to La Liguilla is only getting hotter, and every point and every goal, every match is shaping the destiny of this tournament. Liga MX drama at its finest. Talking about Tigres, no te pierdas, don't miss everything that has to do, the highlights, the vibe, everything surrounding los felinos, aquí en la casa de los Tigres en LatiNation. My name is Julio Ramos, and I send it back to you, Marcelino, desde aquí, desde el Estadio Jalisco.
Gracias, Chiva. Estuvo buenísimo tu reportaje. Now, we will be waiting for you in a couple of weeks to join us back in the headquarters of LatiNation Football Club. That's right. Now, Alex, let's break down the table, the top 12 places right now in Liga MX, so people understand what are we going to be looking at once the Liguilla comes in.
I mean, right now we're still looking at the same top 5. We got Cruz Azul, America, Tigres is up there, of course, and we have, I mean, teams that they've been showing their dominance since the very get-go, and I think that Tigres is, going to keep being there at the top 5, but, we have teams like your Pumitas, we have León, who are struggling right there at the top 10 and 11th place, and San Luis is at 12th place, which we know, like, they still have a chance to make it in there, but it all depends on these last 5 games.
Let's remind you guys that there is a playing instance in Liga MX. So the first 6 spots are defined directly, and then 7, 8, 9, and 10 will play a playing game to see and make the last 8 that will make the Fiesta Grande, La Liguilla, that most likely will be here on LatiNation, my friends. Yes, because LatiNation now is the home for Liga MX games. Tigres, Juárez, Tigres Femenil, Juárez Femenil. Don't miss out. Tune in every weekend with the best game. Are you excited that we finally have live football,
Oh my God,
live soccer here on LatiNation?
You can't ask for anything better than that. Live football and all in English. So all for Sabo kids, it's right here. Don't miss it, and you can't miss out on some beautiful football. I mean.
And some of the top teams with some of the best, most known players on Liga MX. So tune in. There's going to be a lot of content, a lot of exciting stuff around this big effort to bring Liga MX in English to our viewers on LatiNation. And with that, we come to the end of this segment, my friends, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, it's all about Champions League. That's right, match day 2. It's over, and we have the result. Don't go anywhere. This is LatiNation Football Club.
Now let's get to a player who was taken in the first round of every fantasy football draft, and thus far produced the least points, George. I mean, I thought you'd just take a rookie running back in the first round and you get yourself 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns. But Boise State's Ashton Genty for the Las Vegas Raiders, we got out of excuses, right? Like at this point, it's they got to give him the ball more. They got to do this. They got to do that. I mean, George, does this guy look like Barry Sanders? Like that was the comparisons? Like I haven't seen any of that yet.
Our panicometer, all right, doesn't go high enough here. All right, because this is, I mean, come on, we're freaking out here. I don't think it's all Genty, by the way. He has more yards after contact than before contact. That pretty much lets you know what the problem is there. All right, the Raiders needed a running back, sure, but they need an offensive line. All right, they need a couple of offensive linemen. It's not something you can fix in one off season here. So yeah, we're gonna eat it with Genty. He's not gonna be worth the first round pick in fantasy. It's just not. Not this year. In future years, we'll see here, but not this year. The offensive line is not very good. The defense is not very good, so they have to throw the ball more in the second because they're trailing every game. So that's hurting us as well here. So, yeah, like I said, the panicometer, it doesn't go high enough for this, okay? I am more than concerned. I am not calm. I am critical. I am flipping out.
Isn't there going to be a time where he just breaks it free? George, like, what you said is not false. But I think there's a point being missed here. Why has he not broken free one time the whole season? Not once. To just run away. Like, he's Devin Singletary right now. No offense to Devin Singletary, but that's who he is.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back. This is LatiNation Football Club, and I'm your host, Marcelino Ortiz, and it is time to talk about the best club tournament in the world, and that is Champions League. Match day number 2 is in the books. I'm here with my good friend, Alex Crespo, and we're going to break down PSG without Dembele. Without some of their top midfielders, were able to run over Barca like they did, my friend.
I mean, we definitely did not see the PSG that we saw in the final of the Club Mundial. But I have to say, I am very upset with this Barca team. They just didn't show up. I mean, Ferran Torres did, but then the rest of the team, I mean, you did not see Lamine Yamal in this game. They got a last-minute goal, but I mean, there was another game that had a last-minute goal, and that was the Manchester City and Monaco game, where Monaco ultimately tied it up in the last minute. I mean, what does that mean for the City fans?
It's a tough pill to swallow because the Manchester City fans were expecting Manchester to turn the page from the disastrous last season where they did nothing on Premier League, where they did nothing on Champions League. I don't think Manchester City has the roster or the mentality to put a winning Champions League campaign.
Not this year. I mean, they are struggling to beat Monaco. I mean, they have Ansu Fati, and he didn't even score. But this is one of those teams where you see them struggle this early on in the Champions League, and it's not going to be a good run for them. I think that teams like PSG, even Atletico Madrid could even show up and get far in this tournament. But I'm still having hope that my querido Barcelona is going to make it to the final and win the whole thing. It's not said and done just yet.
I mean, I'm glad that you brought Atletico Madrid to the conversation because this team is on fire, my friends. Primero, Manito. Manito al Real Madrid. Chivas, saludos hasta Guadalajara. 5 goals from el Atlético de Madrid, el mejor equipo de la capital española, to Real Madrid. Now, they go to the European tournament and they score 5 more. Right now, El Cholo Simeone has a magician, Julian Alvarez.
My God.
Please, I'm going to allow you to gloat on the magic that Julian is bringing to
I mean, Julian Alvarez is scoring every game. This guy is unstoppable. He is making goals, but not just any goals. He's scoring golazos every game, and not just one. He's scoring 2, 3 goals. I mean, every game, it's like you gotta think this is a cheat code at this point because los Argentinos are scoring left and right. I don't even know. Like, what kind of... That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know.
Right now, we have to do something. We have to go far away from Los Angeles and the LatiNation Football Club headquarters, straight to Monaco to link up with the one and only Nik Z and his European tour, Cyprus, Kazakhstan, and now Monaco, that probably está de fiesta because they stole 2 very valuable points out of Manchester City. Nick, what's your report?
Yes, bonjour. I'm in beautiful Monaco. Made my way down here from Kazakhstan, where I was covering Real Madrid's epic matchup against Kairat Almaty. Now I'm back in Europe, in the Principality, in the microstate of Monaco, nestled here in the French Riviera. But do not call this France. Monaco technically is a country. It's smaller than Hermosa Beach, but it packs more billionaires per square mile than anywhere on Earth. A backdrop for a James Bond movie, but just a few nights ago, it was the stage for a epic Champions League showdown. We'll get to that in a minute. But Monaco, as tiny of a country as it is, you could walk across it, by the way, in less than an hour if you don't have a Ferrari and you must walk. Obviously, it's too small to have its own football league, so they play in the French league, similar to how the MLS lets our Canadian brothers up north play with us. Monaco, as small as it is, not an underdog, the club. You can't have yachts everywhere and call yourself an underdog. In fact, AS Monaco is one of the most successful French clubs with 8 league titles to their name, despite not being a part of France. AS Monaco is also, by the way, fun fact, privately owned by a Russian billionaire, so there's that. They don't have the kind of financial muscle you'd expect, though, at least not compared to like PSG, Real Madrid, Man City. But what they do offer is smart recruitment, clever tactics, youth talent, youth talent, youth talent. Monaco produced stars like Mbappe, who joined the academy in 2013, debuted in 2015, and then exploded on the scene in 2016, 2017, when Monaco won the French league and reached the UCL semifinals. That breakout, if you ask me, earned Mbappe his spot at PSG. Thierry Henry, another example of a Monaco youngster going on to do amazing stuff.
Now, Nick, please tell me, how is it in Monaco? Are the fans excited after this big result? What is tell me what are the vibes in Monaco right now?
Yeah, so far Monaco isn't off to a great start. They lost their first Champions League match 4-1 against Bruges. This past Wednesday, as I mentioned, they hosted English giants Manchester City, faring much better. They drew 2-2 to a much stronger team, so that's good. They lost the lead twice thanks to Haaland, the goal machine, the goal cyborg, but they managed to come back each time. It was Monaco's defense that held its own. They scored both goals. First, Teze in the 18th minute, right after Haaland gave Man City the lead. Then Eric Dier scored a penalty in the 90th minute to keep Monaco alive. So for now, Monaco is sitting somewhere far down in like the middle of the table. But who cares? Barcelona's there too. It's still early. We're just getting started. We've got a long season of European football ahead of us. And Monaco, while not a household name among the greats, has made a name for itself in France and in Europe. They've shown that they can do well. They made it to the Champions League finals in 2003. They made it to the semis numerous times, including in that 2016-17 insane Mbappe year, where they actually knocked out Man City of all people. So anything can happen.
Amazing, Nick. Now tell me, what are the highlights of match day number 2 for you?
Yeah, PSG stunned Barcelona with a late winner 2-1. After a chaotic second half, Napoli edged Sporting 2-1, thanks to a brace from Rasmus Højlund, both set up by Kevin De Bruyne, who's absolutely killing it for Napoli. Well, he'd be killing it anywhere because it's Kevin De Bruyne. But Arsenal beat Olympiacos 2-0 with Martinelli and Saka both on target. Elsewhere, Borussia Dortmund defeated Atletico Bilbao 3-1. Villarreal and Juve drew in an absolute thriller 2-2, and Leverkusen came from behind to snatch a 1-1 draw with PSV. Real Madrid, by the way, made quick work, I'm sure you guys watched, of Kairat Almaty winning 5-0. Oh, the debutants from Kazakhstan. As much as I wanted the Kazakh side to hold their own, especially at home because I was there, I felt the magic. It was just as much of a pleasure watching Real Madrid make magic and dismantle them on the field. My God, Mbappe, the hat trick. The furthest east a hat trick has ever occurred in Champions League history. So there you go, useless fun fact for you guys. Sorry, Almaty, but hey, welcome to the Champions League. At least you're here. Better luck moving forward. 6 teams so far have had a perfect sheet so far after 2 match days. Bayern has won both of their matches, Real Madrid, PSG, Inter, and Arsenal, as well as Karabakh FK, the Azerbaijani Premier League team who beat Benfica in their first match and just beat Copenhagen. Look, I don't want to give any clues as to where I'm going next, but let's just say this squad coming out of Azerbaijan are quickly making a name for themselves and giving dark horse vibes. The kind that we love to see at LatiNation FC. All right, guys, that's it from me in Monaco. Back over to you guys in the studio.
My friends, it's time to go on a break. This is LatiNation Football Club. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Liga MX Femenil. So, you know it, LatiNation Football Club.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there's some bad quarterback play out there. But the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
He's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in,
right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump, and you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
My friends, we are back here on LatiNation Football Club, straight from Los Angeles. I'm here with my good friend Alex Crespo, and it is time for us to go right into Liga MX Femenil, my friends. A lot of excitement because Liga MX Femenil is now here on LatiNation as well. Tigres Femenil, Juárez Femenil will be here on your favorite station, your favorite channel, your favorite network. Also, Tigres Femenil is probably the top team in Latin America. They are the favorite to win. They just destroyed León 9-0, my friend. Talk to me. How do you feel Tigres Femenil will construct this dynasty for decades ahead of us?
I mean, nosotros agarramos un partidazo. I mean, 9 goals in this game. This is insane. Hermoso 4 goals, and she is showing that it was light work. This game was easy. This was just a walk in the park, really, because they are showing that they deserve to be in that first place spot in the table. And León is obviously struggling with this one, but I think that this is just going to keep on going into these next games. It is not going to be the end of Tigres anytime soon.
No, imagine the excitement that we have here in LatiNation Football Club and LatiNation Media at large, because now we are the home to the very best soccer club in the female division in Mexico, and most likely top 5 in the world. This team, Tigres, is putting players all around the world in the best teams. They just sold the highest priced player to NWSL, and they are not slowing down, my friends. Let's talk down about the table, Alex. Have you had a chance to look at the table and see how these teams are doing?
I mean, I look at this table and I see puro Tigres up top. They are absolutely dominating this league. But then we got Pachuca. We got America up top at the top 3. And this table is honestly looking quite similar to the men's league table. And with a certain team down there, I mean, Pumitas, what is going on?
At least they're consistent. Both teams at the bottom of the, at the bottom of the Liguilla table, 8th place. The reality is that it's hard to compete with the budget that Tigres has. They're clearly on a league of their own, literally. There's not even America and Pachuca. 2 of the other teams that they have really well-developed female operations in their teams can compete with Tigres. Tigres is a legacy, like you said, having a player like Hermoso, that is Ballon d'Or winner, that is World Cup winner, and now sharing her expertise, sharing her magic with the Mexican League. That's why the Mexican League is competing at the highest level in female soccer all around the world.
I mean, yeah, this team is honestly dominating their league, and they are showing that, honestly, if there was a Champions League, they would be at the top of the table with Barcelona. I think that they have what it takes to compete against these European teams, and they're showing it. I mean, 9-0 against Leon. What are we doing, Leon? Come on, you got to pick it up. This isn't a good look, really.
There you go. Now, let's go with Camila Ortiz, that she has prepared this little analysis of what Liga MX represents and what can you expect now that we have it here on LatiNation Football Club.
La Liga MX Femenil is heading into the final stretch of the Apertura 2025, and once again, Tigres are on top. Their dominance is so strong that many of their stars are being exported to leagues like the NWSL or the English Women's Super League. I'm official. Behind them, only Pachuca, Chivas, Rayadas, and America seem capable of keeping up. So the question is, will we ever see new contenders rise in Liga MX Femenil, or will the league's global reputation grow precisely because the same powerhouses keep raising the level year after year and separating themselves from teams like Atlas, Querétaro, Puebla, Mazatlán, or even FC Juárez? One thing is clear, Tigres and company are making Liga MX Femenil one of the most competitive women's leagues in the world, one of the most entertaining, and filled with the most demand of fans that week after week turn up into each and every match and bring a great atmosphere to this league. In Italy, history is being made at just 23 years old. Claudia Rizzo has been named president of Ternana Calcio, becoming the club's first ever female president and one of the youngest in Italian football history. The Rizzo family, led by Gianluigi Rizzo, an entrepreneur in Rome and Sicily medical industry, recently bought the team, and his daughter Claudia will now lead the club's future. In her first press conference, she told the fans, "I don't just speak as my father's daughter. I speak as a woman, a true football fan, and someone ready to be involved. Today begins my journey as Ternana's president." By her side is the controversial Massimo Ferrero, former Sampdoria boss, who was investigated for corporate crimes and fraud in 2023. Ternana currently plays in Serie C, dreaming of a return to Serie B under its new young leader. And Claudia Rizzo, she is determined to write a new chapter in the club's history.
And with that, we say goodbye, my friends. This was LatiNation Football Club, and we expect you to join us next week here on your favorite show.
Ashton Genty, between yards and yards before contact and yards after contact, all these sorts of... They're giving him nothing. He is getting hit constantly behind the line of scrimmage, multiple yards behind the line of scrimmage, and frankly, at this point, I think he's essentially out of the race, and this is partly due to Emeka Buka having a great year, Tyler Warren putting up big numbers, Tet McMillan, I think, is maybe the most talented player overall in the rookie class.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The leader right now in the clubhouse in the odds market is Fernando Mendoza. College football purists, yep, absolutely know that guy. Fantastic. He's a great quarterback. Non-purists who are tuning in just for the biggest games, who is this guy, Joe, and how did he get here?
Well, he came from Cal. He's a mobile kid. He's big. He's about 6'3", about 220. He's a gutty kid and had a great performance for Kirk Signetti.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
We're in a weird place with Trevor Lawrence. This was another one of these quote-unquote can't-miss generational quarterback prospects, right? Everybody was salivating over when he was a freshman winning national championships. And here we are, about 5 years later, looking at ourselves going, is it just time for Trevor Lawrence to get a change of venue or something? Like, what's got to give here? Hopefully this Liam Cohen offense starts to come together.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at their who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual, singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.